Okay, Mr. Shanhan. Today we're going to be talking about production possibilities curve. And basically, I want to start with just the overview of this graph right here. And the 2 days we're going to be producing for my country, Wakanda, is spears made out of vibranium and butter. So what these points basically mean is, at point A, we're going to put all of our resources into making 30 pounds of butter, but we produce 0 spears. You have 29, and then you have 21, and 25, and then you have 2. Now, what this also is called the opportunity cost, or basically how much, you lose when you're producing the other item. So when I'm producing at C, I may produce, 2 spears, but I just lost 5 pounds of butter, and that's my opportunity cost. And then we have it as well as right here on this curve, spears. And then you have butter. As you have point A, point B, point C, D, and E. And you always want to be producing anywhere along this curve because that is the efficient way to do it. Because at any point in this curve, you're using all your resources. Let's say I'm producing at 2 pounds of butter and then 5 spears. I can produce here, but it won't be efficient because I'm not maximizing all the products that I like. I'm not using all of my resources. So that'd be inefficient. Anything on this curve right here is efficient because I'm using up all my resources that I can. It just depends on where I would like to produce. And that's also when you have the trade-offs, You're trading off one item to produce the other. And then this also shows scarcity because I'm limited right here. I'm limited on how much I can produce. I can only produce this much on this curve. Anything produced outside of that is impossible because I do not have those resources. And then in my next video, I'm going to explain how everything moves. The last thing I wanted to show was, I don't know if we covered this yet, but this is an increasing opportunity cost curve because of how it bows. But you also have another one called the constant opportunity cost, which is like if you have corn and wheat. Let me draw it real quick. A little basic one here. Here, and here. And this is constant, and then, because, whatever amount you're giving up for wheat is the exact same amount that you're giving up for corn because of the land and all that, and the space is all constant compared to an increasing opportunity cost, which, like, let's say our land is more suited to produce spears and butter. So the drop off is small at first, and then the more I use, it drops off bigger. That's basically how it works there. All right, we're continuing on our production possibility curves, and we're about to hit shifters real quick. So we're going to talk about the first one. And so basically, let's say this curve is 1920. And our technology advances in this 2003. So see how this used to be our limited on resources. We have better machinery, technology, we have factories and all that stuff. That means our resources increase. So now we have way more resources. So this shifts here to outward, and this becomes our new limit. Now, let's say we have an earthquake, and it destroys all the factories. Well, we have no more resources, to produce our goods and things of that nature. So that's going to shift the production possibility curve down. Now, when you get to workers, that's a bit tricky because let's say you have unemployment. Well, the resource is still there. They're not dead. They're just not being used efficiently. So that wouldn't be a shifter. You would just have a little point. Now, if they died, then that's a lack of resources, and then it will shift down. And lastly, education, because you have, basically education produces better workers, and we'll be able to produce more. So that would shift it right. And those are 3 things that would shift the production possibility curve.